Hey, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to Team VY. Now if you are looking for an affordable Pixel phone, then the Google Pixel 6a is one of the cheapest Pixel phones you can get at the moment. But at this point in time, it's a pretty old device. It's been a while since Google launched the 6a. But with that said, if you're really looking to save up on cash, then of course you might be considering this one. With that in mind though, is it still a good phone in 2024? Well, let's take a look. Right, so let's start with the pros of the Google Pixel 6a. One of the best features about this phone is the impressive camera performance. It does come with a 12 megapixel main sensor, which does come with a secondary ultra-wide lens, so there's no telephoto lens here. And it's a pretty standard setup that you'll see in other Google Pixel phones. But with that said though, the Pixel 6a does come with Google's amazing computational photography, and a lot of the same camera features as in other Pixel phones like portrait mode, night sight, as well as 4K video recording. And if you're just looking for an affordable phone that can take great looking photos for social media or for casual everyday mobile photography, then you can't go wrong with the Pixel 6a. With that said though, there are some limitations of the 12 megapixel sensor, and you will no doubt get better results with the newer 64 megapixel sensors on the Google Pixel 7a and the Pixel 8a for that matter. But overall though, in terms of point and shoot camera performance, you can't go wrong with the Google Pixel 6a. Now it also comes with some useful Pixel exclusive software features like call screening, spam message filters, and Google's voice recognition software to name a few. And for practical everyday use, they really come in handy. I mean, I was able to use the call screening feature for a lot of spam calls, and it does work nicely, and I haven't had the need to deal with spam callers in a while. So yeah, those are some of the useful software features that you get on the Pixel 6a. And with software in mind, the phone also gets security updates up until 2027. So Google has a good track record of supporting its phones for several years, and the Pixel 6a is of course no exception. So if you were to buy a Pixel 6a right now, you can rest assured that it'll still get security patches every month for the next few years, at least up until 2027. Another big highlight of the Pixel 6a, of course, is that it's a lot cheaper now. You can probably find them for around $250 or maybe even lower, which will depend of course on where you're buying the phone from. And you can probably find some brand new, but of course it might be a bit more expensive, but definitely the price will be lower than the Pixel 7a or the 8a. So with that said, let's go over some of the key considerations that you should keep in mind when buying the Pixel 6a. For one, the screen on this device is not the best. It does come with a 6.1-inch OLED display, and while this is the same general configuration as in other Pixel phones, it does have a lower 60Hz refresh rate, which might feel a bit slow at times, especially for people who are used to higher refresh rates like 90Hz or 120Hz. And it's also a bit dimmer compared to the screens on the Pixel 7a and the Pixel 8a, the latter of which does come with up to 2000 nits of peak brightness. So if you are particularly concerned about those factors, then you will want to think about them in case you're considering this phone. Another key consideration is of course the first generation Tensor chip inside the Pixel 6a. Now we've seen some great improvements with the Tensor G3's overall performance, but going back to the first generation Tensor chip, it does have some issues when it comes to thermal management and of course battery endurance. So the 6a does tend to get warm, which in my experience was usually the case, especially with prolonged data use or GPS navigation or even gaming. And you can probably get decent battery life, but don't expect anything outstanding. In terms of battery, I'd still give it to the Pixel 7a and the Pixel 8a. So yeah, do keep that in mind. Now, while it still gets a lot of security updates, it's expected that the last major Android upgrade for the Pixel 6a will be Android 15, which is scheduled to come this year. So it only gets updates until July 2025. So we're still not sure if it will get Android 16 for that matter. But again, if you're looking to keep your phone for longer, then I would suggest the Pixel 8a, as Google does promise up to 7 years of software updates for that device. Now with all that said, is the Pixel 6a still worth it in 2024? Well, you do get a good camera, useful software features, as well as regular security updates, and for general performance, it's a pretty capable day-to-day phone. But of course, you do have some downsides, as we just mentioned earlier. And at this point, I do think that the Pixel 7a and the Pixel 8a are better options if you could squeeze a bit more into your budget. Right guys, so that's all the time that we have for this quick video. Let me know your thoughts about the Google Pixel 6a in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our other videos here on Team VY. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.